All right, let's do this. Hey, good people. We have an update for you today. We got a couple updates for you today. And you're probably wondering, why is he showing this particular screen? Well, let me give you um, some idea of what's going on. I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the sites that are no longer producing. And I want to go ahead and put this out there because, yes, there is one that I'm going to talk about that has been talked about in my particular community. And because I was invested in it. Am I invested in wipes? Nope, I'm not. I did not invest in it because I did not believe it was the right project for me or my community. So I left it, out. But there's been a gentleman that I spoke with. He was doing very well with Pegasus. And when Pegasus obviously went as far as not providing withdrawals and really just stringing people along, I believe they created or partnered with someone that created the Polinur. And Polinur went to the wayside very early as well. But then as things went on, we noticed that wipes had come up. And wipes was the type of choice by the same guy that was promoting and pushing the Pegasus project. The same gentleman contacted me and we had discussions about Fidelity Coin Hub, and he was very excited about that. I warned him against that because during my research, I did find a lot of things that were potentially connected that gave it some credence, gave it some substance. But after I continued that research, even after I was invested, even after I had talked about it, even after I launched it, I always continued to pay attention to the signs. And as time went on, it looked like things weren't adding up. And therefore, I relayed this information. That same gentleman was really adamant about it was going to work. And he even went as far as arguing with people in the Telegram chat because he believed it was going to work. And so it is no surprise to me that he opted for the WISE or the wipes, which the name itself would put me off, but let's just say wipes comes along. And yes, it was promoted by a few people. And the same gentleman that was really bullish on Pegasus, right? He actually was, I saw him a lot in the chat rooms in different places. And I didn't personally know him. I don't know him that well, but I just know him from, being on Telegram and these different programs. But he did, really talk about the way he and his organization, his team, his leaders, looked at these different programs. And I was like, okay, that's cool. But I'm like, you know what? I'm not sure you're looking at the right thing because of the way he would talk about some of these programs and just really just got passionate about a program, but it didn't seem like he was doing that due diligence. So here's one of the things that I noticed about wipes. When I was researching wipes and I saw a couple of things. Let's see if I can, get the screen to move, then it will help me explain better why I didn't personally favor it. Minimum withdrawal, 5% fee charged on every deposit and withdrawal. What? Total income 323% after 190 days. So you're so you are pitching and supporting and jumping up and down about a program, a high yield investment program that is online. This is the highest risk program category. paying 1.7%, which is awesome. I got no problem with that. Still within range, but it's high risk. I don't call it high yield. I just call it high risk. Right. And so it's in that category of hold on. I don't think this is really what we want to do. But if you have the risk capital, then yeah, of course, you could do what you want to do if you feel like you can let go of that money in case it walks away. 190 days, that's their only program. That's their only plan on the site. 190 days. Your funds are tied up for 190 days. Oh my God. That's more than half a year. There is no hype that I would even want to look at that says 190 days. So that's the first problem. Now, the 1.7% I like. The 190 days I didn't like. The supported the different payments, good. Minimum, maximum investment, no problem. But 5% on the deposit and 5% on the withdrawal, that right there, because that person was bullish on Pegasus and their instant, withdrawals, he didn't factor in 5% being a problem because Pegasus charged something. So the concept is, well, if they're charging, then they must be more legit than the ones that don't charge. It is absolutely not true. I'm going to tell you right now, none of my criteria has if they charge, it is actually a key indicator of anything. It has zero to do with if it's going to last or not. But I think that that particular person inexperienced in this space actually felt that this seems like a Pegasus, and I've done very well with the Pegasus. So I must be able to do very well with this one because what? It is charging a fee to deposit and withdraw like Pegasus. And most of them don't do that. And so I think that's where he went wrong. Now, 190 days? Absolutely not. This is the only plan they offered. Pegasus had one plan. This one has one plan. So I think that on the back of Pegasus, that person felt like this was the best option. That's kind of what I believe happened in this particular situation. But guess what? Wipes was supposed to launch October 5th or 6th, like actually going to launch October 5th or 6th. But guess what happened on October 5th? They stopped paying. I'm not laughing because people obviously were invested in the company or in the platform. I'm laughing because me as a YouTuber and crypto consultant and an investor, I would have not this opportunity just it was just like don't do it, like no, right? But anyway, some people they gather a lot of opportunities and this one just comes along. Hey, it's a rebound from one that's similar and you just go with it. And hey, if you got risk capital to do that, that's your prerogative. But if you have a team and you have a lot of people following you, you really have to be a little more careful and selective. So let's move on to the CGI. So I can speak about one that I'm not invested in, but I'm going to speak about one that I'm invested in. And everything I just said, you can apply to me. Rashid, why did you invest in CGI? Rashid, why did you think this was going to be a good one? Rashid, why did you call it the new Pegasus? Well, because I thought it would work. I thought they had a great plan. I saw some social proof that it had been paying. So just for the record, Wipes looks like it's been around for about 84 days, which is amazing, right? 60 days is normally the time you start to figure out if it's going to work or not. It kept going. And so I think people started to believe it was going to go for the long run. They said, hey, we're going to launch. And then when they were supposed to launch, they shut it down. Okay, unfortunate, but it happens. CGI has been running, right? We saw that CGI had been running for probably about 80 days, We know it's been paying for it's been running for at least 90 days. Yeah, May, June, July, August, September. So you're looking at almost 100 and something days it was running and paying. We saw social proof of that, right? So I got in it about maybe 2.5 months ago. So it was already about 2 months old when I got in it. and I saw that it was paying and it was consistent and it only had a 7-day term, right? So when you look at one that has a 7-day turnaround, at least you know that you can find out if it works or not in a very short period of time. And that was the whole point, is to find out if it works or not in a short period of time. Well, I can honestly say that I was talking to the admin. You could, on Telegram, I was given the information. I contacted them, and they seemed to be very, cordial. They were very nice. And if there was any issues, said, hey, just let me know. When I did have somebody in my team that, payment didn't come through, or even when I had an issue where I was trying to take out about 1,800 from, the profits and withdraw it. And it was like 1,000 is the max. So he says, hey, just, take it under 1,000 and just do separate withdrawals. And that's what I did. And I got my money, no problem. So I had, things pop up. I would contact them and they fixed it. So I don't know if they were going to go any longer. I mean, all of them have a lifespan. None of us know who these people are when it comes to these hypes, the high yield and high risk platforms. And so we don't act like we do. We're not part of that. So what I want to let you know is CGI is probably no longer here. The exit has happened. If they're not paying you, it has exited. So we diversify so we can move on to fight another day. And so that's really all I want to talk about on that. Now, what I would like to do real quick before I go is to highlight that you have wipes that wiped out in 84 days. Elias, which was one that was paying 2.2% a day, it was rolling and it announced that it was going to launch and have an event in Tokyo. It exited right like a day after it said that. Polinur came and left. It was supposed to be the next Pegasus. It didn't work. And it got actually put on the watch list in California, right? So it was on notice in California that, hey, this is criminal activity. Pegasus is gone. CGI gone. I was listening and watching. I don't know if you know the guy from Watermind that was promoting it really big, Jerry Thompson. I saw him talking about some new thing today as well. So, definitely keep your eye out for that. But what I do recommend at this point, I'm looking at a smart contract that has a lot of safety measures. So that might be the next option. Got some dApps in play, and there's a new Tron mining project that seems to be, doing really well and very easy. So, hey, get in early, get what you can out of it. They all have lifespans. So don't dilly-dally, don't sit around, don't cry. Do what I always say, keep it moving. And that's how we survive in this jungle. All right, peace. And I'll see you on the next one.